Okay, this is how I declogged a 2004 BMW 745 Li. What you're looking at here is the side of the head. Okay, and this is the exhaust manifold holes. To get access to these little tiny holes, you gotta take out the exhaust manifold. Alright, that's no problem, that's easy. But anyways, once you get them off, you'll see the holes, see that one's clogged. And this is the air rail. And this is the hole, there's a hole right here. This is the downpipe. This is the air check valve. So basically I took off this downpipe underneath the car, had access to this hole. I connected a rubber hose to this hole here. And I hooked up that hose to a pump filled with gas. And in the beginning, all 7 holes were plugged. Only one was open. When I was pumping gas, a whole bunch of gas was spitting out, but all these were shut. So basically I wanted to add pressure in this air rail here so that my gas will soak all this carbon here. Okay, so this one was open. I just put sock up in there, you know what I mean, and then keep pumping the gas. This air rail will be filled with a whole bunch of pressure, and you want to use this coat hanger here. Okay, I made 3 different sizes. Okay, this is a short one. This is the longest one, this is right here. Okay, the length. Oh yeah, you need a pry bar too. Okay. The length of this pry bar here is about 7 inches. The length of this coat hanger here, it's about 4.5 inches long. This one here is about a little bit over 5. You don't want to make it too long, okay? If you make it too long, you won't be able to take it out of the hole. You'll be struggling trying to take this thing out. In order to take it out, when you're in there, you just push it forward, and then you want to twist it, and then you will be able to pull it out. Anyways, as you can see here, I filed it down with a grinder. You don't want to make it too thin, otherwise the tip will bend. You don't want that. So the measurement on this one here, this tip here, is 1.5 inch. This one here, 2 inches. This one here is a little bit over 2 inches. So anyways, I start off with the short one. In the beginning, it was so clogged. The carbon in there was just so gummy, right? So thick. Once I stuck it in there, eventually this tip stopped right here. I had to go all the way in to the end right here. So that's what you want. You want to stick it all the way to this end. Go all the way in the hole. Like that. Okay, we'll stop right here. You want it like that. But when I first started, it got stuck like right here. And so here's the tricky part. This is where it comes, this pry bar here comes in. You want to stick this in there first, okay? And then you want to trace, using this pry bar here, trace the wire down. And then you want to push it so that it will get all the way to this end here, okay? If it's sticky in there, you know what to do. Just get some, pull it out, dip this tip here to some gas, go back in there. Once you know this area is clear, then okay, you go to a longer tip. This one here is 2 inches, okay? And I went back in there, and it got stuck like right there. And so I used the pry bar again. I traced the hanger to this end here, and then I would push it so that it will go like right there, okay? And they just keep working it. and eventually it will pop. If it doesn't pop, okay, I'll use this longer one. It's about a little bit over 2 inches, definitely longer than this one. Okay, this is the longest one I had. And then just keep working the hole like that. I did like that, and I did that too. Eventually it will clear out, but if it's still like very gummy, you're gonna have to find a way to wet this hole. So you know, eventually the gas up here, it will soak the carbon. It will help. And then if you can, you get some carbureted cleaner. You're gonna have to bend the straw, bend the tip a little, angle it in a way so that you can stick it into this hole. Okay, you want the tip in this hole, and then you'll spray your carbureted cleaner so you can, you know what I mean. And then yeah, go back in there, just keep working it until you get to this end here. If you stop here, that means it's clogged. Okay, you stick it in, you stop right here, that's clogged, so you want to go here and push it. The reason why you can understand I didn't use this longer one, because if it gets stuck like right here, well, I can't really use my pry bar to go into this hole. I don't have enough room to pry it, to push it, you know. That's why I had to use the shorter one. Okay, so that I was able to make enough room so that this longer one will, you know, go in more, and then I would push it in more. Eventually the hole will pop. You won't hear a pop, but it will open. Okay, it will open. And so what else? Yeah, I think that's all I did. Yeah, just keep working it. And oh yeah, you know, just pump gas. Eventually the hole will clear. It will start spitting out. That's what you want. And then get some more sock, you know, plug it up, plug up the holes that are open with some sock, and then move on to the next one. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was tough, man. It took like the car was on the rack. Let's see, my buddy did one side on the driver's side, all 7 of them. Only one was open on the driver's side, and it took about 5 hours. Okay, it took about 5 hours. And then by the end of the day, all 8 was open. And then we went ahead and put everything back. Well, in the beginning we had codes, p0491, p0492, I think, and air insufficient flow, bank 1 and bank 2. So we only did one side. I figured I put everything back, clear the memory, dry cycle it, but thinking that, you know, everything will be all right. But then pending code came up for the other bank, so yeah, we had to take out the other side. So yeah, I went ahead and took out the other side of the passenger side exhaust manifold. Only one, again, only, I don't know why, only one hole was open. All the rest of the holes, the 7 holes, were all clogged up and plugged. So it took me about 5 hours, about 5-6 hours. And I was going back and forth. I had other jobs to do too. So it took me about 5 hours. Car was on the rack for about two days, I think. Yeah, 2 days. And yeah, it was on a rack. So I can't imagine, man, if you this has to be on a rack. So I was taking some showers with the gas, you know. I was so dirty. But anyway, this is how I did it. Basically, we didn't drop the motor. We just took out the exhaust manifold to access these ports. It's doable. I went online, shopped online, see if they have some kind of special tool, and they do have a special tool for it, for this system here. it has a handle at the end, so you can, I don't know, it looked kind of big, cost like 90 to 100 bucks or something like that, but I didn't have that, so I created my own with coat hanger, you know. It was tough work. We did both banks, 1 and 2. Yeah. Eventually it cleared out, and then drive cycled and code was gone. Everything was all right. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. Good luck to you guys, you know. I heard if you take this to the dealer, it could be about $4,000. They're gonna have to drop the motor, and I think the transmission gotta come with it too. And so just, you know, just to get access to these boards, you know what I mean? But I didn't drop the motor. We just took out the manifold. And yeah, the guy online that I searched for the tool, basically he already had the head on the bench, and he was doing it on the bench. I mean, anybody can do that. But anyways, we were doing this under the car, just with, you know, these coat hangers and this, and like 20, I think we spent 20 bucks of gas, you know, on this fuel rail. But it was all good. I was able to also use, you know, carburetor cleaner with you know, bend the straw a little bit, bend the tip so that I can stick it in, and then spray carburetor cleaner to weaken the carbon. And in combination with the gas and the air rail, it was able to, you know, I was able to clean it out. So basically, yeah, the tricky part is, you know, sticking this thing in. Well, it's easy once you're in there, and once you're in the hole, you want it to go all the way in. Again, you know, if you're not all the way in to this end here, use the pry bar, go all the way in. My carbon was so gummy, it was very, very sticky. I couldn't even pull it out, and so I had to take it out and dip it to some gas, and then go back in there, weaken the carbon, you know. And then I would pass this on this, from this end. It was all clear. I took it out, switch to a longer one, you know, and then go back in there. It would get stuck here, but the hole, it still didn't clear the hole. So that's when I use this to push it in more. And then you know, with that rubber hose connected to this hole here, I would pump gas, and then the gas would fill this air rail. Would be a lot of pressure on there, and eventually, you know, when you're close, the gas will, the pressure up here will do its thing. It will clear the passages. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We got 2 of these cars. We got a 03 and a 04. So both are clogged. We were able to declog one of them. So the other car is next. So it's not a problem. I mean, it's doable. If you don't want to do it, then I guess you're gonna have to take it to a dealer or something like that. If you don't want to do it this way, at least maybe you're gonna have to drop the motor. I don't think there's any other way. Either this or dropping the motor, taking the heads out. Yeah. Anyways, good luck to you, man. Thanks.